Lesson 1, Unit 3, Project Identification. Every project has a beginning. How projects are identified, selected, and funded will define the success of the project. Projects can come from many sources. They are either proposed by donors or government agencies, or proposed by organizations or even stakeholders such as the beneficiaries. The Pdme cycle starts with the identification of a problem and its possible solutions. The solutions need to be analyzed and carefully selected in order to ensure they are efficient, effective, relevant, and sustainable. Projects can start in the following manners. A donor publishes a request for a proposal that the organization might find it interested and it's aligned to the strategy. The organization may identify a problem and sends a proposal to a donor or donors with a solution to see if there is interest in funding the project. And another option is a project funded internally by the organization. All projects aim to solve a problem. The organization develops solutions to these problems, and these solutions become the projects that will support its development strategy. Identifying potential projects can come from many areas. The most common sources for new projects comes from donors' proposals that have identified a problem and are asking for solutions for the organization. The expressed needs from beneficiaries the organization has worked with before, an internal or external analysis of a problem or problems, the evaluations from previous projects that can include the identification of problems or opportunities, and initiatives that are part of the programmatic long-term goals of the organization. Most of the new ideas for projects come from requests for proposals from donors, national or international finance agencies, for example, USAID, the World Bank, and even a country's development ministry or development agency. The request for a proposal is asking an organization to submit a bid for the project. This means that the project is already part of a donor's strategy or government strategy, and they need an organization with the expertise and similar development strategy to submit a proposal. Usually, many organizations will be competing for this win to bid. Organizations submit their proposal that includes the strategy to solve the problems and the financial implications. Projects can also come from the needs expressed by the beneficiaries of current projects. During the monitoring phase, the project can identify needs expressed by beneficiaries that the current project is not addressing. The monitoring phase is a good opportunity to get information about specific needs that the beneficiaries might have that can become elements for a new project. What is important is not to create false expectations that the project will be able to attend those needs, and beneficiaries should be made aware that the organization will try its best to find funding. Organizations can also identify opportunities for new projects from past projects. One of the areas where organizations can identify new ideas comes from the needs expressed by beneficiaries from a previous project. During the implementation of the project, the beneficiaries may have had the opportunity to express their needs from additional services or request help to solve a specific problem that the project at the time did not consider as part of its plans. Project evaluations usually capture needs and can become recommendations to the organization for future projects. Another sources come from the internal analysis the organization does in the sectors or areas where it works. Based on information from evaluations and other research documents, the organization can identify problems where it can intervene with its experience. This analysis can help identify potential projects that can be funded either by donors or even funded by the organization. Identification of new projects can also come from an external analysis. It's analysis made by other organizations or institutions that have a specialty in development, such as universities or nonprofit research organizations. They can help identify a need or a problem that the organization feels important to address. The data from this analysis can be enough to provide information for a new project that the organization can start. In this case, it's important that information from the external analysis is trustworthy, accurate, relevant, and can be used to justify a new project. Organizations can also have ideas from previous projects. Maybe a project did not include a solution to other problems that were identified in the design phase. If no one is addressing that problem, the organization feels it has experience, has good relationships with the beneficiaries and the donors that funded the projects, then it can use that opportunity to propose a new project. The organization can also propose an extension to a previous project to more areas in order to deliver the solution to more beneficiaries. Previous projects can also contribute in the identification for new projects. There might be opportunities that were identified in the project evaluations that the organization can consider as potential ideas for new projects. Another area where new projects can come is the programmatic plan of the organization. These initiatives are part of the long-term strategy that the organization has identified and has planned to address. Funding for these projects can come from the internal funds or by seeking interest from donors. During the project identification step, the organization will identify the need or opportunity for a new project. This first step, the identification of the project, should give enough information to make a decision and then commit the resources of the organization to design a complete solution or submit a proposal to a donor. All ideas for new projects should align with the organization's development strategy and support its long-term goals.